Okay. Welcome to Track Limits and Emotional Damage. Are Carson Hocevar and Sabrina Carpenter dating? Does anybody care about Tyler Reddick anymore? And
Well, I'm sorry. You weren't even looking at the camera. You were looking off into like, God knows what. You're like, is Sabrina Carpenter and Carson Hocevar, are they dating? Is that something that is this? I don't think I have the Hocevar
I
Sabrina
sent
Carpenter.
you. I thought you read my notes.
Oh no, I didn't. Sorry.
That's what I sent you. My
I know,
notes.
I know.
Those are my notes. It says T notes. Dover All Star Race.
It's like there was so much going on, but a lot of it happened on track this week. So, but before we get into any of it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. We always love to hear what you're thinking.
Sometimes.
All the time.
All the time.
It's all engagement. You want to kick us off with Hocevar and Carpenter?
Yeah. I mean, there's rumors that. So there's like a couple rumors, right? There's rumors that they're dating because of some social media posts. And then there's like also social media posts coming out that Sabrina Carpenter's like, who is that? So.
Yeah. That's what I keep seeing.
So, but are they just like trying to keep it on the down low? So she's just like, I don't know who that is. You know what I mean?
What do you
I don't
think?
know. I have a feeling she doesn't know who he is. But he did go to the Met Gala, so
And you did get to meet her there, I believe.
I do think so.
Yeah. So they are more than just kind of know each other. They actually have met. So that's yeah. But I don't think that like there was nothing really going on before that, because this all sparked from him wearing a Sabrina Carpenter shirt at Talladega, right?
I love how you told me, you're like, I didn't know about this rumor, but yet you know all the details of this rumor.
Well, I didn't. Okay, so hear me out. I'm gonna fix my position on this one. I don't know any of the new stuff on it because I haven't been following it. What I did know of was he wore the Sabrina Carpenter shirt back in Talladega, and that one kind of sparked the rumor. And then I knew about the Met Gala, but I haven't really seen anything since. So if there's more new stuff since the Met Gala, then I'm not privy to that stuff as of yet. That makes sense.
Same.
Okay.
Because I was just going to talk about what you just talked about. So.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't we just back it up?
Back it up like that one guy. What's his nuts?
Yeah.
Kowalski, Brad K.
Oh yeah. It was so great seeing all the cars smashed up, like all the ones that they had to try and get back on the track. Oh, I loved it. I mean, like on on Suarez's car, they had so much speed tape on it that they had to actually put a number in tape on it.
Is that what like the shiny tape is? Like, because I have a note here that says duct tape out, flashing tape in, because it looks like that roofing, like flashing tape that you put on things. But is that what's speed tape?
A duct tape, or I think it's just like tape that helps you go fast. So I think duct tape or whatever the flashing tape is. I think it's anything that is sticky and holds shit together. So
Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, pretty much. Ironically, I don't think Gorilla Glue sponsors any cars, which seems like a missed opportunity.
I feel like they should.
Yeah.
I don't think they do.
Because Gorilla Glue does tapes and stuff, so
yeah, I like Gorilla Tape.
they're definitely missing out. If they're not sponsoring, you guys need to sponsor.
I mean, I haven't seen that like logo. It's a pretty.
Yeah.
You know that logo when you see it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That second lap crash was something, eh?
Jeez. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. It'll be quiet, and just the destruction. Man, that was absolutely great. I mean, to have they were having a hard time finding enough cars to fill the final stint to, just get enough cars on track to actually run it. So yeah, it was crazy because there was a 9-car pileup lap 2, and then another 9-car later in the race. But the first one, I mean, you had so many big drivers who were part of that. You had Chase Elliott, Larson, Blaney, Bell, Busher, Chris Chastain. Like you had a lot of half those cars that crashed in the first one all had guaranteed spots in the final section because they've won titles, and they so like half the guaranteed cars barely were even able to get into it. So it's a great crash to watch though.
Yeah.
I mean, I always like when things explode or catch
fire.
fire. Nothing exploded.
Nothing exploded. Just back end caught fire because it was full of gasoline. Yeah.
I will say, did you watch them actually clean up the track?
Not really.
Okay.
They didn't really show it, did they?
No. Yeah, they just showed a little bit, and this is what I was kind of getting at. So instead of getting like a flatbed tow truck, they just had two tow trucks, like one reversed up to it, the other one, and then they just kind of like how they have the like lift. Instead, they just, because the car was burnt out at the back, they had to lift both ends. But I feel like there's a better way to do that. Like get a flatbed.
There's those wreckers that are flatbeds, and then they have the arm.
Yeah, I mean, they may just not had access, but I was like, that seems like a weird way to go about it.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, Steve, just back it up. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we got this. I mean, we can't damage it more.
That's true. I think, like, it could be, though, they don't have a bigger truck because they might have to get into, like, weird, like, positions to remove the vehicles. So maybe that's why they just do that. Yeah. But, yeah, it doesn't seem very efficient. But I do have to say, though, like, I feel like NASCAR has a really good response time to, and I don't know if we've talked about this in the past, but, like, they have a really good response time to emergencies, fires, cleanups, like all that stuff. They do a really good job. F1, it's like 2 minutes. It's like the most frustrating thing to watch because I'm like, like you need to have a little bit more protocols here because especially if it's one thing if it's just like the driver's fine and walked away or whatever, but like that one fire crash or whatever that one year that like the guy was like on fire for like 2 minutes before somebody even showed up with a freaking fire extinguisher. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. Anyway, I could rant about that stuff for a long time. Anyways, as somebody who does not do well in emergencies, but I understand, protocols. And like, I think like it just like irritates me, especially if like somebody's life is at risk.
Yeah. I will say that the cars, I think, are more likely to crash and not be drivable in Formula One than they are in NASCAR. So that might be why they have a faster response time, because they're like, if this car needs to get, they have everything. And realistically, when you're on an oval track, it's pretty easy to have a crew station on each side to be able to handle, turn 1 and 3, or 1 and 2, and then maybe 3 and 4 is handled by another, and then the straights. So I could see that. Yeah, I do agree that sometimes the speed in which Formula One, the marshals or the firefighters are able to get there, it does seem like a lot slower than it should be comparatively. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to look and see like actual response times, but yeah, NASCAR is definitely way faster, and at least visually to me. So, and
I understand that like in an oval track, everything's in the center and it's easy to respond to either side, but I just think wouldn't know that when you're like, if you're the person in charge of emergency responseness or whatever they call that person, like, wouldn't you know that, hey, it takes 3 minutes to get from this side of the track to this side of the track, so let's station 3 ambulances and not just 2. Like, I feel like that's what kind of bugs me, because I'm like, there's nobody just sitting down and thinking about this, like, hey, they crash here a lot, let's put them here and not over there on the straight. Like, I don't know. I guess like that's what annoys me.
Yeah, I get that.
You can hire me. I'll help.
Most of that stuff is all volunteer.
Well, there you go. That's your problem right there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
You're getting what you pay for. I mean, like, I'm not saying that like good volunteers don't happen, but there are certain positions that need to be paid. And or just better train your volunteers too, because maybe they don't know how to respond, or maybe they're not, ex-military paramedics and don't know how to handle that. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna kind of. I mean, we talked about Hamlin. Kind of change the move to a new subject. Ness. Well, I think
Hamlin's burnout sucked.
I was gonna say I think the bigger thing is like Bubba Wallace won stage 1, Reddick won stage 2, Hamlin won the race. Those are his drivers. I mean, like it's starting. I'm excited for this soap opera because I feel like we're about to see like it really hit that momentum of it's going to get juicy. Because like, you know, Hamlin was basically racing his drivers. And I'd love to get your opinion. Do you think that this is, and we've talked about it a few times, do you think that this is fair? And the sense of like, if they're your drivers and you're rolling up on them, are they less likely to fight you? You know, like those are things that you got to think of. I don't think so. I don't think any of this is there, but
consciously they would. Maybe
but you have to start thinking that, you know, like that assumption is going to start getting made at some point if it hasn't already.
But
so
it's because Bubba, though, he got hung up in a crash, right?
Yeah, he got hit.
So he was whatever. Reddick, same thing. Didn't he get caught up in anything? It's not like they were like, oh, we're first and second. Oh, here comes the boss split. You know
so
what I mean?
Reddick
like
didn't Reddick get a
happenstance?
Reddick got a pit penalty, didn't he?
I think so. That 88 car did too.
88 got, yeah, because 88 Carson Zilich, right? That's Zilich's 88.
88,
yeah, because he was doing really well, and he was getting close to being at the front. So yeah, I will say crashing and things like that, and it's crazy because if you look at the Bubba Wallace crash, because he didn't really, I mean I forget who went sideways, and Bubba Wallace pretty much just ran into him, but it did
35.
seem like he slowed down. Yeah, it did seem like he slowed down enough that like you couldn't really see much damage, but apparently the damage was on that like lower splitter that has a lot of the downforce and helps with those things. So yeah, that's probably why he wasn't very competitive, because that happened pretty quickly into the was it the
final
last stint? Yeah.
Yeah, the final.
So yeah, I get that. I mean, like you're always going to run into those issues where like you can't predict crashes and cars doing which way, or even just like Verstappen. I mean, nobody's going to predict the drive shaft is going to fail on.
No.
You know, so I think there's always going to be that level of.
That was a chug.
And this is not like I wasn't bringing that up to say like anything's going on. I was merely bringing it up of like subconsciously at some point the guy who's signing your paychecks, do you really want to accidentally crash him?
Well, yeah, you don't want to crash him for sure, but like passing or letting him win, the drivers he has, I don't think they would. I think they would probably be careful not to crash the boss.
Yeah, not crash him, and that would be a completely different one.
Yeah, unless it was like totally by accident or not.
And it was, and to me, the reason why I don't think that it's a thing is like Bubba Wallace. The beginning of that, he was crushing. I mean, he had a car, and that car would have taken him all the way to the end if that second stint crash wouldn't have happened for him. So I do think that it was a big bummer. And I mean, Byron was. I mean, there was a lot of like. You know, Byron moved up through the field a couple times, and even at the end, he did a late pit stop and was getting some pretty good movement through the field. So I think that there was a lot of great strategy. It was all over the place, obviously, with all the crashes.
Yep, I think that's an interesting view though, because it has to impact something somewhere. But ultimately, I think he would be more happy that his drivers are doing well because they're such a young team, like in the sport, young.
Yeah, and I will say, like, Reddick got lucky that it wasn't a points-based race, right? You know,
I think that's why they're way out driving like they were, because I think there wasn't really a risk. The only risk was not getting the $1 million.
Yeah. What else you got in your notes?
I think it's funny when they do like the over the wall segment and they're introducing the like pit crew. You can tell which ones have a wild wife at home, to put it nicely.
Right.
Because like the first guy, he's like, I know a lot about animals, walks off. The next guy's like, I love my wife, Cassandra, you're great. And then, like, walks off. And then the other one's like, I love my dog. I love you. You know, I got 2 kids and a wife at home. Love them. Like, you know what I mean? The next guy's like, I really like Dr. Pepper. You know, next guy, you know what I mean? Like, like I'm like, yeah, you can tell which ones have that wife at home that are like, if they didn't mention them, would be like, why didn't you mention me?
Mention me, yeah.
Anyways, I thought that was funny. That was my little observation.
Yeah, that was really. I was laughing at. I was laughing at that section. I like dogs.
I also thought it was funny when they were just randomly zooming in on the number 9 car, and there was just like 2 bags of trash in front of the wheel.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And they're just like slowly zooming in on it. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah, they kept like being like, "Oh, Tyler Reddick is gonna win," but I feel like people don't care about Tyler Reddick anymore because Carson Hocevar won.
Yeah, I was curious about.
I feel like,
I was curious about that like sentiment. I know you kind of wanted to talk about it, and I see where you're coming from. But yeah, I definitely love to.
It feels kind of similar to the whole George Russell thing, where like Tyler Reddick obviously has had a good year, but people are like more excited and talking more about Carson Hocevar and him, and like he's been quite the, like, even though he's only won 1 compared to Reddick's 5 now, 3,
yeah.
I don't know. You would think more people would be excited about Tyler Reddick, but it seems like more people are excited about Carson Hocevar, and I thought that was interesting because even go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think it just has to do with I mean, like, he's got such a huge point lead even on second place? You think that people are just like, you know, until something changes up at the front, that it doesn't really make sense to really pay attention to it, because it's, you know, he's gonna have to do really bad in a few races for even Denny Hamlin, who's in second, to catch up to him.
I don't think people care about the points as much as people think they care about the points. Like, I think the drivers care about the points. I think the teams care about the points. But, like, I think NASCAR fans care about the driver. I mean, that's why Dale Earnhardt Jr. was, like, such a mass. You know, he appealed to the masses. He appealed to the people. He was relatable. He's, you know what I mean? He's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Everybody knows him. And I think Carson Hocevar kind of has that same, like, attribute. Like, people really like him. He's down to earth. He's cool. Like, he's kind of cool. He's young, so he's bringing in a newer crowd of people who, you know, like, Tyler Reddick is just another driver. He kind of just blends in. No offense. But, like, Carson Hocevar kind of has that, like, personality that that kind of, I don't know what it's called. Like, what is it called? Like the X Factor or whatever. And so I think prior to him not winning, I think people were kind of like, oh, he's still new, you know, whatever. But now that he's shown that he can run races and he races other things, I think people, it's like a fandom base is building. And I don't think just winning races doesn't automatically get you that fandom base, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think
100%.
they were trying to be like hyping up Tyler Reddick, but everybody just cares about people just care about Carson Hocevar. He has kind of like a tongue twister name too.
Yeah, I do see that, and I do agree. I think Carson Hocevar is definitely an outlier within NASCAR. You know, I mean, he's openly said that he's not really close with a lot of the drivers. You know, I know he's close with Cletus, you know, and a few other things, and he's just kind of brings a different. I definitely agree. He does bring a different kind of like X factor to like the driving style. Yeah, and I don't know if, I mean, I think that there's always going to be these new drivers that come on and open up stuff. You know, it'll be interesting to see if he stays. I know the rumor kind of sparking around was that there's a possibility of him maybe going to open wheel. I don't know what that would look like. So hopefully he stays in NASCAR, because I think he definitely has a bright future. But yeah,
I mean,
I do get that. Yeah.
Yeah, he just has a different energy, and he's kind of making the sport fun again. Like, I feel like since, and I'm probably going to get so much hate for this, but since Dale Earnhardt kind of retired, right? Like, there hasn't been that type of person in that. No one's filled Dale Earnhardt's like role of being kind of the spokesperson of NASCAR, because he still is. Obviously, he does his podcast. He's super engaged. But as like an active driver, I don't feel like any of the other drivers really stepped into that position or had that energy. And Carson has that energy. And I think he's going to be kind of, if he keeps performing well, he'll be as big as Dale Earnhardt. I truly believe that. I think I could see that potential. Now, if he, stops winning or whatever, but he just kind of has that, I don't know, it's just like an energy thing. And I think he's going to bring in like the younger crowd. He's kind of getting the next generation excited about racing. And same with Cletus. I think he kind of falls into that realm too. I think
I'm curious to see how Cletus comes up through the, where he goes in the space. Because I know, he obviously has a lot going on with just his YouTube channel and the Freedom Factory and all that stuff that he's doing. So I do think that, time-wise, will he be able to have the commitment to do 36 races in a year, along with everything that he is doing? And I don't think that it's unmanageable. I'm just saying, like, hey, there is.
I think there'd have to be like a shift in focus, essentially.
Exactly. So yeah, I could see. Well, and because Carson Hocevar and Cletus are pretty close, I think both of them could really spice up and really kind of mix up NASCAR just in general. And I do agree. I think you have a lot of, and this is not meant to be mean towards any of the drivers, but you do have a lot of drivers that you're just like, cool. Like,
cool.
I do agree. You don't have that, like, that Dale Earnhardt Jr., I know there's people that think that they hold that in some regards, but they don't. And so it will be I do think that it'll be interesting to see where that comes from. Now, he is signed with Spire through 2030, and the only reason why I bring that up is 2311 said that they have a big announcement coming up in the next so many weeks or so. And so I've just saying, connect the dots. Could that have been and I could see them paying to break a contract to bring someone like that over, because Max Verstappen, they obviously saw a talent. I mean, he was 17 years old when he was basically 18 years old when he was going into Formula One, and they knew that he was going to be absolutely amazing. So, I think that probably still rings true across NASCAR of, like Denny Hamlin's been driving for so long that he can probably spot a lot of talent. And as he's building the team, why not bring the more memorable drivers to what you're saying?
Yeah. Like the more, I don't know, just that energy. I don't know how all that works, and I don't know who's like the best team for him to drive for at the moment either. I think he still has some more racing to win, and just because you win one doesn't mean everybody wants to sign you. But I don't know. I just see like his social media presence and just like how the fans react to him, and like I feel like even I was like, oh, I like him, like instantly. When I was starting to really dive back into NASCAR, I was like, oh no, I like him. He's cool. But like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Opinions.
He's got some really good teammates too. So I mean, I'm a big Suarez fan. So I love.
Yeah.
I think Suarez. Over the last two races, and we can talk about this maybe next week. But I think Suarez is definitely starting to hit kind of like that upswing in the sport as well. It's really interesting. It seems like over the last couple of races, he's really been front and center. I mean, I know he's had some pretty solid races. Obviously, the crash ad. I think he was part of both. I think he was part of both crashes, if I'm not mistaken. And so that just kind of tanks performance for one day. But I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him, because I think that he's definitely moving and grooving. You also, McDowell, I mean, he was competitive at the road courses last at Watkins Glen. So I think Carson Hocevar does have some really quality teammates that he can lean on, to really kind of develop and grow. So, yeah, it'll be good to see.
I agree. Let's see. I thought it was funny that Bubba started behind Bell on the first stint.
I would love to get your thoughts on this. I was hoping that was going to be spicier.
I was too. It totally fizzled because of the crash, I think. But I think it was going to be spicier. And then, like, I thought it was funny. Bubba, they, like, played his radio when he passed. Oh, when Russ was letting him pass. And Bubba was like, oh, that's unusual, or whatever he said. It was, like, super sassy and sarcastic. But I just thought that was funny. But yeah, I thought there would be more to that Belle. I was hoping for more to that Belle and Bubba little racing, but I think the crash just kind of muffed it up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, having a crash so early, and I think Bell never really seemed to recover. And then he was in the second crash, and then they were able to get him back out for the second. But I mean, his car was pretty well damaged that it wasn't going to really amount to much.
I thought it was funny though when they cut to the garage after the big crash or the second big crash. I don't know which one, and like Kyle Larson was just standing there, and then all of a sudden he was like, you can tell on his face, he was like, oh no. Like, he was like caught, like he didn't want to be interviewed. But the guy's like, oh, look who's here. He did not want to do that interview in the garage. It's kind of funny. Like, that was kind of funny to me. He was just waiting for his car, and then he was like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, the other one that was funny was Ryan Blaney up on the media platform just watching the race while they fixed the car.
I know.
Saw some good pictures out of that.
I think that's kind of it. The only other thing was like the name Almendinger. I was like, that's not a real name.
I think it
can't be. It is.
That's
is
what he goes by.
I understand that, but apparently it's a German name that means like a family or a person that lives on or near a communal pastoral land in Germany. All right. So like the almond part means like mountain pasture. I'm not quite sure what the dinger part is, but assuming it just means like person.
Yeah.
But anyways, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. So interesting Google.
It's one of the tabs.
Yep. Well, things to watch this week for NASCAR. We have the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte. If you are watching it and used to watching it on Fox, it'll actually be on Prime because Fox will be doing the Indy 500. So that's why I think there's that switch.
Are you going?
No, I'm not able to. I'm not able to make it up.
To the Charlotte one?
To either Indy or Charlotte.
Yeah, you got any notes, bro?
No, that's everything I had. It was a great race. It was good to see that even with no points on the line that people were racing. So I'm glad that they put that $1 million prize to make it, I think we get a better race. It'll be interesting because I don't think they'll do it at Dover again though. That track kind of
eats cars hard. Up.
Yeah, it's a tough track.
And you can tell like even when they're driving on it, it was like you have the bank, but then you had like dips too. So I don't know. It was a good time.
Yeah. Well, that's our show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment.
I love you. Bye.